way back from the last Boots on the Ground session in downtown LA, I saw this dome sticking out, so that determined where I'd want to go next. So let's check it out. This is the Second Church of Christ Scientist, built between 1907 and 1910. It is now the Art of Living Foundation, but just a beautiful building. Intricate designs everywhere. This was the ceiling beneath the columns. We've got all this going on all across the top. The tops of all the columns completely decorated. Front of the door, we got this symbol right here, which we've seen in other places, and I will point out in another place in a future video. I got the old school lamps. This sun pattern that I saw at the church in episode 2. There's an old school lamp out there. The bottom looks almost like a set of columns. And we got this leaf pattern that flows over onto the ground. There it is. This is coming around the other side. Just crests and columns and patterns everywhere. I mean, just to have this much amount of detail underneath when you look up is just awe-inspiring. Here's that symbol that we saw on the front. Here's a side view of it. A little blurry, but you can tell what's going on there. Here's the columns. And you can see the lamp right here in the foreground as well. Here's the bottom of the column. So even underneath the windows, we've got this, which we've seen before. So this is the Second Church of Christ Scientist. There is a First Church of Christ Scientist. That one was built in 1912 after this one, which was considered the second. So I found that kind of interesting. We got 3 arches and mud flood windows. So a few of these around. Just so much detail. that's just one of my things with all these buildings, is that whatever process was used, this is just a lot of work and a lot of attention to detail. And it just doesn't seem to me necessary to put so much detail in there unless there was a function to it. Here's along the sides of the windows, have patterns in them. And right here in the middle we got the keystone. Stained glass windows. Here's a reef in there. Got the same pattern across the side that we saw by the other window. And then on the side, on the other side, they're building something with red bricks. Looks like maybe a couple different layers there. Three arches, windows. Here's the other side, another crest, another old school light, which has that symbol that we saw on the top of the building on the light as well. So again, a lot of attention to detail. I've seen this described as Italian Renaissance, Revival style, Beaux Art, and Neoclassical. So take your pick of which one you think it is. So around the other side we discovered that it does have a lower level to the building. Steps that go down, but locked, so couldn't go down there to take a look. But yeah, definitely another level down there with pavement lighting. This was the only open window, all the doors were locked, so we'll take a look in there a little later. More portals on the side. Another old school lighting, painted white this time. This was the door. Again, we can just see the evidence of the lower level. And then we have these benches outside with some broken pieces. Intricate designs on the benches as well. And here we get a look at that little dome there. So this is a 1,400-ton copper dome. 40-foot columns. Takes up 0.6 acres. Can fit 1,200 people. This is the part that really is interesting to me, is this top part of the dome. I really need a name for whatever this thing is. This little rotunda, I guess, on top of a dome. It seems like a lot of domes, not all of them have it, but a lot of domes have that little thing on top of the dome right there. So wonder what the function of that part is. Flagpole. This looks like there's more stained glass portals there, keystones. That same symbol all the way around the building. And there it is on the corner. Almost looks like some sort of leaf uncurling itself there. Here's the base of the flagpole. And here we go inside the building. This is all we could get right here. It looks like just one back room that they're using right now. Since it was sold in 2009 to the Art of Living Foundation, I guess they do meditation and things like that in here. Alright, we'll save that for another video. Here's just the different stonework that we got going on. In the front, some breakage. And then here we can see the marble, or what looks to be marble to me in the front, which was just in the very front, which seems to me like very expensive to put there. So it looks like, 3 different things going on here to make this effect. I just find this just so beautiful here, standing, looking up, seeing everything that's in here. This flower pattern, this Greek wave pattern, which I've seen in other places. I'm going to do a comparison video later on and just kind of show what I've seen in all these places and how things connect with those. And of course, if you guys have seen similar attributes elsewhere, please let me know. Leave a comment. Hit us up on the MeWe page. Even the bottom of this lamp has just so much detail to it. You can see a little bit of that in between for the columns. And looks like a little spire on top of this. Who knows? So I need to figure out what this symbol is right here. If you guys know, please hit me up. And see here now they've just kind of chiseled in the Art of Living Foundation on there. Who knows what it originally said. I just found this interesting that this seems to have the same proportion as some of the other, what we've seen lampposts on or statues on. So I think there may be something to this proportion. And there we go, there's the plaque. Second Church of Christ Scientist of Los Angeles, Italian Renaissance Architecture, 1907. Declared Historical Cultural Monument, number 57. So really breathtaking place. It was really cool to look around. It really felt nice. Looked great. Just looked like a lot of work was put into it. So it says it was designed by Alfred H. Rosenheim, an LA architect. But who knows? Something this massive, I think, may have a different story. Thanks for watching.
There's got to be more to this thing we call time, cause the future can't be seen in terms of straight lines. So combine the sight of instincts and wisdom's eyes, stroke the lows and highs of this ride we call life.